In today's video, I'm going to show you how I created my lip color changing lip balms, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for tuning in. Here is going to be the items that you'll be needing in order to create a lip balm. This is going to be some of the packaging. I did decide to go, of course, with the silver because I do like how the silver looks. And you're going to be needing a scale, the lip color changing pigment, mica, flavor oil, and of course your ingredients in order to create this. So you're going to be needing like the castor oils, the mango butters. I do still have two different types of coconut oil. One's going to be fractionated and one's going to be refined. And then of course the candelilla wax. You will need the recipe, and that's going to be the recipe right there. So this is a recipe that I created on my DIY. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. So for the purpose of this recipe, I am going to be measuring in grams, and I got my pouring pitcher already together. The first ingredient I'm going to start off with is going to be the wax. So I like candelilla wax because it is a plant-based wax. It is an alternative to beeswax. It's a great moisturizer. It also helps protect the barrier. This wax has so many benefits for the skin. And of course, I love my castor oil. Castor oil is a deep penetrating plant oil. It is the #1 penetrating plant oil. It's a great moisturizer. It has a great consistency when creating lip oils or glosses. So for the purpose of this video, I want to show you guys both coconut oils. Well, one is going to be the fractionated coconut oil. The other one's going to be the refined coconut oil. I do normally use the refined when I'm creating this lip balm recipe, but I wanted to show you both options. And so this is going to be the one I'm going to be using. It does have more of course, a creamier consistency because of it being refined. I'm also going to be using mango butter. Mango butter is highly moisturizing, it's soothing, it's anti-inflammatory for the skin. So when you're doing a double boiler method, you want to make sure that you do have a second pot in order to heat the pitcher. You do need to add a little bit of water in the bottom and then add the pitcher. While the lip balm is heating and melting, these are going to be the tubes I'm going to use. These are lipstick tubes. I wanted to go ahead and do something fancy since I am going to be using lipstick molds. This was also another option, but I went ahead and decided to go with the silver because I have done that before and it's very popular. So now that the lip balm base is all melted down, I am saving some of it inside of a container. This is the amount I'm going to be using. At this point, I would go ahead and I add the vitamin E because this is the cool down phase. I will tell you guys that I did end up making a mistake during this part. So here's where I made the mistake. I didn't realize that this flavor oil had water in it. As you can see, it already had started hardening once I put the flavor oil. The consistency is becoming a lot thicker. And so when I go ahead and I start to add my mica to it, it just instantly starts to get solid. So if you run into an error like this, I suggest just reheating the lip balm base in order to get it back to a liquid form so that you're able to pour it. So I'm adding the color changing pigment. I did have to reheat this again after stirring it in. Because of the water soluble flavor oil, it did become hard again, so I just went ahead and reheated it one more time so that it's easy to pour. So I did end up having a little bit left over, and I just went ahead and poured it inside of these tubes. I did end up spilling it just a little bit because I was in a bit of a rush to get it poured in. So I'm showing you guys a tester right now of what it looks like on my arm. I do have to get into a little bit better lighting in order for you to see it. So this is what the color looks like. So now that the lip balms have sat for a little bit, it's time to unmold them. In order to do this process, you want to turn the lipstick tubes all the way up to the top. You want to suction on the molds and push it down as hard as you can without smushing the mold. So you want to go ahead and twist down the tube so that it's secured, and that's how you go ahead and add the mold inside of the lipstick tubes. The Q-tips are going to help with cleaning around the edges of the lipstick tube. This is just to make sure that there isn't any leftover lip balm residue around the edges. And here is a look at the final product. It ended up turning out so well, even though I had a little bit of issues. So here is what to look for with the flavor oil. This is something I should have done. So it says that this is appropriate for lip balms and lip glosses, but as I looked on the back, it does say that it has water inside of it. If you run into this issue, I would suggest actually trying to find a flavor oil that does not contain water. So this one has always worked well for me. It's from Nature's Garden. It's pretty good. I haven't had any issues with it. And then I want to show you guys what to use when having the color changing pigment. This is going to also help with cleaning up any type of residue because the pigment is highly staining. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I do have this DIY color changing lip balm recipe available on my website. I'll leave the link in the description. Thank you again so much for watching. Until next time, I will see you later.